I could put you in the brig for what you've done, but I won't do it.
What the hell's going on out here?
Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Talking Dicks Comedy Podcast. We are the spin-off of the web series The Two Dicks, which we have a new episode. It's been filmed. It's in the can, and it'll be out at some point. But we filmed it while we worked at the Laugh Factory in Las Vegas last week. I'm Al Romas, currently in Tampa, or Clearwater, actually. I'm in Clearwater, Florida today, and that is Al Ducharme. He's in Studio City, California. How are you today, Alfredo?
I'm well, man. It's good to be back home. My mattress, my pillow. My pillow. My name is Mike Lindell, and he took my fucking pillow. I did. I took it from him. It's great to be home, man. We had a very busy week at the Laugh Factory. We had 14 shows. We shot an epic episode of The Two Dicks, and we recorded a podcast with John Campanera, and we went out and dined and wined. I was so stressed and exhausted and having fun all at the same time. But I was physically worn down from it, and I've got a couple of days rest, and it feels good.
Yeah, it was just go, really. I mean, the thing is, when you have the shows, like Borgata, we filmed in Atlantic City, and it was one show, 9 o'clock. It just seems so easy compared to 2 shows, and when you're done, it's midnight, basically midnight in Vegas, and then you're shooting again the next day or doing a pod or whatever. Yeah, mornings we were doing morning. That one day we did, I think 10:30 till 5:30, 6 o'clock or so, and then 2 shows, 8, 10:30. And that was a long one, man. My legs were, just standing for 9 hours. I was like,
yeah, you talked about that. You mentioned we don't do this. How do people do this every day, 5 days a week, 6 days a week, standing on their feet? They take a 10-minute break in the morning.
A hard shoe, and they go to work and stand and wear a suit and come home. I did it one after. That was it. I was wiped. Never want to do that shit again. I like to see that suit 2 or 3 times a year maximum.
What do you have? What's the beverage? Yeah, it looks like a red wine.
Oh yeah, I'm drinking a little. I got some Cabernet going, buddy. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. You know what I mean? Oh
damn.
It's Friday.
It is.
It's Friday.
It's Friday afternoon for you.
Yes, sir. And I'm leaving town early Sunday morning, so I'm this is going to be my night to have fun, and then Saturday tomorrow I got like a 7 a.m. flight on Sunday.
Oh, that's
7
brutal.
a.m. to Minneapolis, 3.5 hours layover, 3.5 hours to Seattle. Jealous.
And then you're doing Alaska. And then they're gonna say you don't have any shows that night, and then you're gonna get on the ship and like, you have 2 shows tonight.
Right.
Which has happened to me more than once. And
I
it's just,
like when they I like when they at least let you know, though. I mean, I don't get those emails much anymore. It used to be like, hey, you have 2 shows and this is when they are, and you're in this cabin. And I don't get a lot of those emails anymore. It's sort of just walk on and be like, surprise.
Walk on, walk off.
You're working tonight, or sometimes you get on, it could be, I could get on Sunday and be like, you're working Friday night. You just, you don't know. So,
that happened to me on one of the longer cruises. It was an 11-day cruise, and I had a week off before I went on stage.
Crazy.
And I'm like, oh yeah, how do I do this again?
Yeah, it's crazy, but I kind of like that. I don't want a week, but
no, that's too long.
I like coming on and day 3, day 4 you work.
Because you're in the sweet spot of the cruise. They haven't had a comedian yet, usually. And instead of doing a welcome aboard where everybody's tired and weary from travel from all over the world, midweek, they've been on the ship, they've acclimated. And if it's a sea day, you have a captive audience. You get 2 shows, 800, 900, 1,200 sometimes. And it's magical. It can be really magical.
Yeah. I like those. A Seattle first night will be not the best because you figured a lot of people traveled, and these Alaska cruises, people come from all over. It's not just
all over the globe.
It's not just a 3-day Caribbean deal. This is let's plan a vacation. Let's go to Alaska. And it's
Yeah,
going to be
this-
2 weeks,
Mhm.
little different cruise. I was looking at it, a couple different places, but 2 weeks in Alaska and then back in Seattle after 1 week and then back out. So it should be good. It's a little different at least than
Are
the
you stopping?
Carib.
Are you stopping in Haines, Alaska this time, or is it Skagway, Ketchikan, Juneau, Vancouver?
Yes. It's I don't think Haines is in either week. But I think Vancouver is in the second week where that's a port, becomes a port.
And is it
Which is
Vancouver
nice.
Island, Victoria, or is it Vancouver City? Either. I love both.
I don't know. I just glanced and saw Vancouver so it's probably the city if it's part of the Alaska run. Maybe it's a port.
Yeah, but
But,
sometimes because you're going to Seattle, they'll go to Victoria on Vancouver Island because it's only 45 minutes away. And when you're coming,
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
When you're coming in, you can get U.S. telephone carrier, but you have T-Mobile. You don't have anything to worry about.
No, but I love it. I love having the being in the U.S. still, even though we're on the cruise. You can use your Wi-Fi and it's all good usually. I mean, the temps I looked at, not bad, 60s, low 60s, 65 even. So can't complain. And hopefully it doesn't rain. I hate when it rains every day there.
Well, you're going to see rain over 2 weeks. You're going to see rain because it rains.
A hard rain.
Yeah.
It's going to fall.
And sometimes it can last just a few hours. And then sometimes it can last 48 hours. But
you never know, man.
And when you never know. That sun break and it pops up to 65 and you start peeling away the layers.
Have you ever smoked a cigar in Alaska? I don't recall other. I know those different, like Juneau maybe, but have you ever been is there a cigar lounge? Have you ever seen one or remember seeing one? Because I don't have any recall of anything about cigars in Alaska.
Well, the cigar lounges have been popping up all over the place. They've been very popular over the past 4 or 5 years, but it's been many years since you've been there, if I'm not mistaken. I cannot give you one by name, but I do remember walking by one vaguely in Ketchikan 3 years ago. Going, I don't know if it still exists.
Right.
But you can ask around. Usually I smoke on the ship outside looking at mountains. If you do that inside passage, which you're going to do because you're out of Seattle, I believe you're inside passage.
Yes.
That's amazing. Going up there, if it's a little chilly, you throw on a jacket. When I was with Bernie, we wrapped blankets around us and we had Kahlua coffee or hot chocolate or something like that. And booze, the booze is in there. And
I doubt it. I think yours was just hot chocolate.
I just said Kahlua, but what else is it? What else is in those those coffee drinks? Irish
talking
whiskey.
about like a white? Bailey's Irish whiskey. Bailey's.
Yeah, it's nice. I don't with the dame, So it worked out.
Well, that's a great cruise to bring abroad with you. Alaska. I mean, what the fuck? It's like. It's all romantic. Look at the ice.
And we can bring guests now. Did you look into that?
I didn't look. I have not heard that as an official.
Well, thing. I think Kelly is listening now, and you should take Kelly on a nice cruise.
I would love to, but I don't think it's official.
Mr. Cheapo.
I haven't heard. What are you talking about?
I think you have to pay
Mr. Cheapo. How dare
port
you?
fees and a tax or something.
Well, I don't pay. I've never paid. I remember you used to have to pay tax.
I think they're bringing that back because they
bring it back
because they were shut down for 2 years. But
COVID,
Mr.
everything's. It's like 9/11 was the same. It was the answer. Like even the guy I took our dog to get groomed today, and it was it was pricier than it used to be. Different dog, but whatever. And I go, oh boy, that's quite a bit of difference. He's like, yeah, COVID. Like,
yeah, well, there's
what does that mean?
Opportunists,
dog groomer, COVID. What does that mean? You were open. You live in Florida.
Yep.
You might have been closed a month.
They were
probably
busy.
got a PPP loan for $150K
or $250.
What the fuck are you talking? What was it? COVID. I don't know what that meant.
No, some people are just gouging. unfortunately. And a lot of people were still bringing their pets because they were seeing their pets all the time.
Well, and if you're during COVID, your pet still has grooming issues. I mean, can't do it yourself just because it's COVID. So I didn't buy it, but
no,
they do a good job there.
Well, I truly believe that that's bullshit because a lot of these businesses did get their loans, low interest loans, and a lot of them were forgiven. So look, why don't you go there and look at the cars that are in the employee parking lot, and if you see like a Mercedes or Lamborghini or something, then you know he's just fucking you.
He fucked me, man. I know it. I know that.
Hey, you're drinking a glass of wine. You're making me jealous. Do you mind if I go? I have an iced coffee in our two dicks cup.
A bev. Get yourself a bev.
No, it's all poured. And she came in. Bernadette came in. She came in. She said, "Hey, I'm just coming in. I got to pee real quick and head on out. Are you podcasting?" And of course,
she's peeing in the office. She's in the podcast studios.
No, we have the bathroom on the second floor is right next to my office, and then the bathroom downstairs. So I'm like,
I wouldn't know. I've never been invited to the Casa Ducharme.
Kelly's going to be here in 2 weeks. she didn't invite you.
She didn't say a word. Jesus. Well,
take her on a cruise, man.
I'm going to Alaska. She's going to LA. What the hell? Unbelievable.
Hold on. Let me go grab my beverage. I have to unhook my ears, but
get that bev.
I'll let you talk about me.
I'll take over. I thought he'd never fucking leave. This guy, I tell you. Where's he going anyway? He's going to get his beverage. So he had a beverage. It was full.
I had my microphone.
Then he started the pod and then realized he had a full beverage. Does that make sense?
No, I can't.
Wouldn't you take the bev with you as I did? I said, we're going to start a pod. I poured myself a glass of red wine. If you can see it here, probably can't because of the background. There it is. And I was prepared like a professional would. But this character sits down, then realizes 10 minutes in, he doesn't have a bev.
Got the iced coffee.
This is outrageous. Well, he's back. Hold on. He's back. Hold on, everybody. Okay, and we're back. Welcome back, Alfredo.
Hey, good to be back.
So it was very successful week. We got done what we wanted to get done, and this episode is going to be, not to brag, I think it's going to be epic. I think it's going to be an epic episode. John Caponera as the police captain. Boy, this guy, we were talking about it all week. This guy just walked in that hotel room where we were set up and we're filming in Alan Bernie's hotel room. And this guy walked in like a professional actor, and we give him the first scene and he fucking nailed it. And we just stood there again.
And I made a joke. I said, I think we're done. I think that's a wrap. But it was funny for him to hit his mark, hit his lines, and deliver the timing. And you and I are looking at one another like, once again, Al and Al don't know their own script. We don't know our cues.
You'd think by writing some lines we'd have a clue, but boy, nothing. And I enjoy watching someone who knows what they're doing. So I was kind of like, I was into his performance, and when he ended and he yells at me, I'm just standing there because I don't know what the fuck to say. But I wanted to applaud and go, "That was well done, sir. Very well done."
John was really good. He's got the acting chops, and he loves to perform. He's a great storyteller.
Yes, he does.
We went over to his house. We got some barbecue takeout from what was it called? Billy J's. What was it called?
Oh yeah, Ray's.
Ray's Willie.
You know, one of those classic
Ray's Willie.
Classic barbecue joint. You walk in, the smell overwhelms you. And you have mostly African-American customers. You know you're in the right goddamn place.
You're going to get some good
and it's a shithole. They're not putting a dime into the place. All the money goes into the food and the rub and the tug and the whole goddamn thing. So it was...
it was definitely a rib tickler.
Oh, it was... Hello. Good night. It was delish, and we went back there and hung out with John. But we had John Bizarre, also great comedian from originally from Long Island, lives in Vegas now. John Bizarre comes in.
He nails it.
Here's a part that it could be like, you know, the old no small parts. There's only small actors, whatever. This is a part that's like, it's not a big part. And we're thinking, oh, see what John, he comes in and fucking brings, it's like the old, he brought a lot to it. This guy made it really cool, and his facial expressions, and he's just opening a safe, and it was like, this is fucking good. These
He's
good
pro,
actors, man.
and he took like a one-dimensional character and made it into three-dimensional.
Incredible.
And we added stuff on the fly because it wasn't written out. And you're leaning over to me. I don't have this in my script. Is there a new version? I'm like, no, dude, this is just an idea. And I go, whatever I explained to you in a text is what we're shooting. And you were like, how the hell are they going to do this? But I knew I had faith in John. I've been a big fan of his.
He was great.
When I was first starting out, he came in as the headliner to Periwinkle's Comedy Club in downtown Providence at the Arcade in Providence. And he made a big impression on me. He was very broad, which is my style. But he was like fine-tuned and just destroyed the place.
Yeah.
And I saw him, and then I ended up opening up for him a couple of years later. And he was gentle.
Nice. He's a gentleman. But he was always one of those guys. He was always a headliner. Like when I started, he was a established headliner. He was just one of those guys where it was always, if he was on he was killing. He was one of those guys I knew about. Just I never worked with him really, but he was just like, oh, that guy's a killer. And there were a couple on Long Island. I mean, just like Boston, you always had those guys, you know what I mean? Like each city has, like on Long Island, it was Joey Cola and
Bob
John
Nelson.
Bizarre, Bob Nelson, Klaus Myers. There were certain guys where you just go, they're fucking home run hitters every time. And it was just cool to see him come in and just be like, I don't know, I'll try it. We'll see what happens. And it was just like, wow, you're fucking nailing this, man.
And I told him, I said, when you look into the safe, because the camera was in the safe, the old camera in the fridge or safe trick. And the monitor was also in the safe. So I said, you're going to have to direct yourself on this. Just do as many takes as you want. And he did. He just went,
fucking nailed it.
He made each one slightly different and then improved upon it. And
it was great.
We were lucky to get him, and he made that shoot so much easier.
Hell yeah. I mean, we were
like
saying it though. We are the least prepared, least professional, least everything of our own videos. These other, whenever we get guests to come in, they fucking nail it. And then we have you and I. We're like, okay, we'll do the rest.
Yeah, well, that's because you and I, when we shoot them alone, there's so much less pressure. We just do bullet points, and then we improvise, and we go, okay, we got it where we want. Let's shoot a few, and then we tweak it, and those are fun. But when you start bringing in a cast, and I think we had 1, 2, 3. We have the 2 girls, right? Kelly and Bernie, John and John.
And Frank Del Pizzo was
Frank was great. He
was great.
He had 2 lines. He did a cameo and he nailed it. Boom, boom.
Nailed it.
Well, you and I, we write these scripts 3 weeks, a month in advance, and we do the back and forth. This one was not as quick as it normally is. And then by the time we get other actors and get the set and all the equipment set up, we're like so far away from the script,
right?
That we're like, oh shit. And these people are just showing up, but they've been studying their material and trying to bring something to it.
Right.
And that's
well, great. Originally I thought, oh, we're in Vegas, we could shoot at night and in the casino, but you can't do any of that. I mean, really,
because then you're like 2:30 in the morning getting back, and we have a shoot in the morning and then 2 shows at night. And we're not 25 years old anymore. Let's be honest.
Well, I am, but you're an elderly man.
I'm an elderly man.
We gotta make sure you get your rest. You get your rest, Alfred. We'll see you in the morning. So, but yeah, they were all great. Everyone did a great job. It's going to be a great episode. It's like a full real episode. There's a lot involved, and your thing. I mean, I read it, and I'll be honest, like I got it, but I was like, I don't see it. But then when they did it in front of me, I was getting it. I was like, oh, this is good, man. I like this. So
yeah, when you sent me your script, because Al and I sometimes will write either the same script and then try to merge them. And we always, so far, we've lucked out by having them start and end in different places. So we were actually able to sew them together, if you will.
That's
And
the
kind of works.
The Lennon and McCartney until the White Album. And they separated. But they would have half songs and go, just combine them. Like A Day in the Life is a Lennon song, but with a McCartney middle for no reason. Woke up, got out of bed. It's like, that doesn't make any sense. But it works.
Boom, across my head. Boom.
Yeah, it's like, what does that have to do with singing about a guy blowing his brains out in a car? But it works. So that's my script had a lot of with the girls and then some gambling stuff, and then we just put it in the middle of your script. And
how apropos for you.
It's
girls drinking and gambling.
Hey now.
Poor Kelly. That's in the past. That's his past.
Yeah. She was gambling more than me.
She was having fun.
I didn't know you were addicted to slots. What the fuck? You should have clued me in on your old profile there online. She was like, "I want to go down again," but it was fun.
She's fun. Easy and not in that way.
Hey,
but
now what's going on?
No, she was easy to hang with. She assimilated, and she was just like, "Whatever you guys want to do, let's go." And we had a shoot, and
she's super cool.
We went to Hugo's Cellar in downtown Vegas at the Four Queens restaurant.
Very cool place.
Very cool place.
Although
it was pricey.
Give a medal. It was pricey, and I've never seen a place that gives the ladies a rose when they walk in. That's very nice. Usually you get one on the way out, but that's fine. They put it in a little vase at the table. Okay, very nice. We paid the bill, and they came and snatched the 2 roses out of that vase.
And snatch is the key word here, because he was like the Pink Panther.
Snatch. Hey,
strikes again. He just was like, took him and ran away.
Yeah, I mean,
and we dropped $300. We dropped $300.
Do you have to drop 500 to get?
Got to drop $500 to $600, which we could have easily done. And if we didn't have 2 shows that night, we would have.
Oh, that's easy. Yeah,
but we did have.
If we did steaks and wine, you just steaks, you and I, and wine. We're at the 5. Easy. I mean, that place is in the Four Queens, which is like holding on by a thread. And yet the restaurant in the basement, that thing is crushing it. I mean, it was a line. You can't even get a reservation the day of. I booked that thing 4 days out. It only got to 6:30 or a 6, but they're making great money downstairs, but they won't let you have that rose. They don't that rose. I've never seen anything like it.
Again, I wonder if it was because of that. You could see our waiter, his name was Eric, and he was a portly fella.
Eric was
definitely used to being around food, and he
was annoyed.
He's like, "Hey guys, welcome." I go, "Hey, listen, we're working in town. We only have 2 shows tonight, so we're
gonna get out of here.
We're gonna get a couple of appetizers and a couple of drinks." And his face just went, "Boom! I got the done table number 7 done."
But like
and then he disappeared.
He
just disappeared.
Eric still made. What did he make? I mean, he was there barely an hour and a half or so, and what did he pick up from us? $100?
$60. Why 100?
More than that, didn't he?
What was the $300 bill? What did we get?
$300 bill. Oh, right. Okay, so $60. Yeah, he was at our table.
He was hoping to make 100 or 90 to 100, and we.
Yeah, but normally I would have. But then again, I'm like, it's hard to believe, like, because that's a downtown. I mean, if that was in the Bellagio, you go, I get it. But to be in the basement of the Four Queens and drop $700 at dinner for 4 seems a little crazy. You know what I mean? Doesn't match. You know, like you would go, oh, a steakhouse in the Four Queens. That place is great and it's reasonable. But you know, they've been there forever, so I guess they're doing something right. And the food was good. I don't. Just because we were pressed for time, but I'm not a fan of the Black Rock cooking. It doesn't really work that well. The tuna, I didn't feel like it ever really got to be that good on a Black Rock.
I was anticipating it to be a little bit
not cooked.
Yeah,
myself. You know what I mean?
Yes, that's true.
Why don't you do it? $300, you can cook. You know, so
it was so funny. He put it over here. He goes, so you do this. He took the tongs. He goes, and then you cook it to where you want. The tuna's almost done, and then he just like put them next to us and ran away.
Yeah, he was
like, I got to go make some real money.
That would be a
my
funny,
PPP loan ran out.
it'd be a funny bit or a documentary, a short documentary, even on like the waiter approaching a table of 4 or 5 people. How
Big smile.
excited, and then when he finds out it's a couple apps and one glass of shitty wine. All right, I'm out of here. It's like the flight to Vegas, like Cap was saying. The flight to Vegas, everyone's we're gonna win this time, and the flight home is fuck. I got to work in the morning. I lost all my money.
My kid's going to junior college.
Yeah, but that was Eric kind of to us. It was like, hey, how are you guys? Good morning, good evening, welcome, blah blah blah. Then, yeah, we got to work tonight. We're gonna have a couple apps.
He was looking at $150 to $200 a head.
Sure.
Yeah. And, and there was a line of people waiting to get in there.
I mean, the one, when you go out, you go out, and if you go to a dinner, say with your wife, and have a couple bottles of wine and a big, you get a bill, say $400. But you do that same thing without the wine. It's unbelievable. How
it's 180.
It's crazy.
Well, here's you. You got prisoner.
I know. Well,
you got prisoner. People like, what?
I know.
you like your good wines when you get a couple of drinks in you.
If I have a cup,
give me 2 Manhattans to start things off, and then I'll let me order the wine. I'll show you guys. Everybody's
that's
like,
what you don't do. Yeah,
everybody's like, oh shit, my bill just went up $100.
If I have a couple of like old fashions, don't let me order wine. Someone else take over the wine list, because I'm not looking at prices anymore. I'm looking at names. I like that one, so yeah.
Not too many places has the prisoner wine, so when you get it, don't look at the price, just get it.
True though, and we did it. I went to dinner with Jimmy Manelli and his wife, and me and Kelly, and it was there, prisoner, boom, get it. But the thing was, and they weren't like, Kelly doesn't like red wine, and Jimmy's wife Barbara was not a what, but they wanted to taste it because it seems like it's, oh, you guys are loving it, it must be great. So the bottle only has 4 glasses, so I don't want to be cheap, but do you really need a glass?
No, I usually let my wife sip out of my glass. I usually just let her sip in my glass, and if she likes it.
We poured a glass for the
gals.
You
guys are dummies.
Well, I think it's romantic, but you call it dummies.
Yeah, let me tell you what. After that night, there was no romance. That was pass out in the pillow. My pillow, pass out. maybe in the afternoon the next day after the hangover, but there was nothing going on there. I guarantee it. I have to look at my granny, my nanny cam. I said granny cam, but I meant nanny cam.
my granny panties, and
all right, we have a couple things to talk about here. First of all, I just wanted to talk to you. After you guys left Vegas, Bernadette and I stayed an extra day because we drove in from LA. We didn't want to do the 6 to 10 hour drive back. So we did it in about 4.5 on Tuesday, but we spent the whole extra day and a half actually wining and dining, and we went to Italy. Eataly, Italy. There's 3 locations.
I'm very aware of that. Mm-hmm.
One in New York, one in Vegas, and one in, I think it's Century City here in California. And we went there 5 times.
It's excessive, but okay.
The first time was reconnaissance. We just went there to check it all out, decided what we were going to do. And then we had a couple of other places that we were going to head out to, including the French restaurant at the Paris called what's the translation for my friend Gabby?
I don't know.
Mangabi something. My friend Gabby. Anyway, yeah, Gabby like me right now. But we just kept saying, let's go back to Italy, because they have like 6 or 7 different food stations.
And it's spelled folks, Eatly. That's why he's saying Italy. Someone was wondering maybe why you were going, what the fuck's he saying Italy, like Italy? But that's the name of the place.
You got a fucking dog.
Italy. I do have a dog.
He groom him, and his
won't ball stop. Dropped. The other ball dropped, and now he's got a deeper voice. You can hear the bark now.
And he's becoming a man. Everything. He's protecting his property.
That's right.
That's why when the mailman comes by, He has an issue.
Well, he's usually seeing the mailman naked running out of here. So he's, what?
I don't know
I
what's
don't know.
happening over there. I don't know what's happening. Anyways, I just wanted to tell you at the
Italy.
Italy is located at the MGM Park, which is a brand new casino diagonally across the street from the MGM, where Brad Garrett's comedy club is. But it's pretty grand there. It is really nice. The whole building.
You sent me a bunch of pictures. I didn't go, but you sent me a bunch of pictures. It reminds me of the marketplace in Napa. You know, the marketplace downtown? That
Yes.
big, it has wine and foods and coffees. And it reminded me of that in pictures. Is that accurate? Would that be an accurate take?
Yes, it does have the remnants of that. But what it's based on is the train station in Rome, the Roma Termini train station, and which we've taken a train throughout Italy before. So it looks like the same thing. It's got these 40-foot high ceilings, and I'll put a picture up here, and it's amazing. So they have like whatever it is, 5 or 7 food stations, plus they have a wine tasting, and then little wine bars everywhere, and a full-on restaurant.
Love wine bars.
So we did the pastas,
Love a wine bar.
we did the oysters, we did it all.
You do them
Gelato.
cooked or raw oysters?
I do the raw. Bernadette will have one. She'll have one.
Choke
I'll
it
just
down.
try my one that I do once, twice a year.
Right.
But I'll do the half dozen, and I'll eat 5 of them. And
But she'll eat the escargot though, and not just
That's
go
cooked.
muscle. But we were at dinner, but I won't do escargot. You guys both went
We
with
love
the
it.
escargot.
Well, I grew up in an Italian neighborhood in Cranston, Knightsville.
I
section of
don't care
Cranston.
for snails on my plate,
And
sir.
snail salad, which is cold snails with celery, onion, lettuce.
Good God.
Like a vinaigrette.
Ugh. There's not one thing you named that
wine
I
vinegar.
found appetizing.
Love that. Oh, parsley,
gross.
fresh parsley. It's
Rosemary and
really,
thyme.
and then you get some smelts, fried smelts. Yeah,
What's a smelt? I
it's
don't even know
like
what
a
that
little.
is.
It's like a little minnow fish in a batter,
Oh, that smells.
and it's fried, and that's quite delicious. Too.
Oh, you just named the worst dinner I've ever.
Sardines. Think of sardines, but these are
Right.
actually different than sardines tasting.
Well, I can't. After when I was in the Navy, we were in the Mediterranean, and the ship is literally, it's an old ship, should never been returned from Vietnam, but they kept it in service. Thing is rocking. We're in the Med. It's doing one of these. Everyone's vomiting, everyone's sick, and my chief, who's 300 pounds, comes in with a cigarette, a cup of coffee, and a can of sardines, and he's dipping them in like some kind of weird mustardy juice.
Yes.
Going like this. How's
Mustard
everyone
sauce.
feeling today?
Oh,
Just dropping them down his throat, holding a butt and chugging it with coffee.
That's
coffee.
cruel.
And and then we're just because you couldn't get up from your position in the Radio Shack. You'd have brown bags. They were to puke in. So we would just lean over, and go, whoa, and then back to work and at the teletype machine. And then he'd be like, fellas, you gotta,
Oh my God. Best 4 years of your life.
best 4 years of my life. And because I was telling Kelly the other night, I go, I didn't drink coffee for like 20 years after the Navy. I didn't start drinking coffee again until I was in my 40s because I was so fucking turned off by those old chiefs. Their hand is molded like a coffee mug. It's sick how their hand is. It's like that.
Arthritic almost.
Yeah, and they drink it 24/7. And I just was like, and this guy would walk in every day and go, "Is the pot fresh?" And we're like, "Yes, chief." And he would drain it, make another one. Let's go, make another one.
Wow.
And I'm like, "Oh, it's so disgusting." The whole thing. So I hated coffee, and I drank Coke, and then I ended up falling down. I was so dehydrated. Never had
Sure.
water in 20 years. But anyway, I went to coffee. But that was the reason. But boy, sardines. That reminds me of the whole thing. I think that's why I can't picture eating that as an enjoyable thing. When you guys got the escargot, I was just like, whoa.
Oh, that escargot,
God.
melted butter, and then dipping
Oh,
the bread.
yeah, but everything's
French
butter.
bread.
It's all butter.
Well, they
It's all
say
butter.
butter makes everything better.
Well, I was it. My father used to say, "Yeah, nobody likes lobster." He goes, "They like butter. They like butter." Everybody, he goes, "Order a lobster and tell them I don't want any butter." Nobody's doing that.
No one's
It's
doing
true. It's true. It's like we love butter.
that. You can do cold lobster with mayo and it's lobster salad.
It's not bad.
Sandwiches.
It's not bad.
It's pretty darn
That's
good.
not bad. When I'm in Alaska, what do you recommend? I haven't been in so long. Are there places
I haven't been
have
in
to
3
hit?
years. I'm actually not going until the end of summer.
I know that Tracy's is a big deal.
Yeah. I
Gotta
mean,
go.
do you like
That's a
the
big one.
Alaskan king crab and all that? It's interesting because I usually
Gotta
get
do
like
it, right?
I get a halibut fish and chips, and I'll go. There's different places that have them, and you think you're right there. You see all the fishing boats coming in, and they don't have to transport it across state lines, put it on a
No,
plane, fly it all
right
over the
there.
world. It's right there. So you think I'm going to get this for half price.
Out of
Nope.
that cold water. Oh, no, exactly.
Nope. You're going to pay the same price as or more than you do to somebody in Minneapolis, and that's gouging.
It is gouging.
But their seasons are short, so the locals have to try to make some money.
But it's boy that when it comes right out of that cold water
Oh,
onto. I mean, it's incredible. It's a different thing. I mean, really, I'm not the biggest seafood guy by any means, but boy, when you have that the king crab and Juneau or catch a can,
it's unbelievable.
Boy, it's pretty good. It's
And
pretty
you're
good.
smelling the ocean. You're looking at the ocean. You're either sitting outdoors or indoors.
Having a
if it's too
smelt,
cold.
smelling
Having
the
a
ocean with a smelt.
It's a great experience. But if you ever get a chance to go to Anchorage by land or sea, go to Humpy's. It's called Humpy's.
Excuse me.
Humpy's. Because one of the
That's what I named my dog.
one of the one of the salmon is called the Humpy, nicknamed the Humpies. You know, there's like 5 different salmons.
No one knows that. Nobody knows that but you, Alfred. Nobody knows this 5 different. I like how you say it like it's common knowledge.
How can you drink red wine and act like you're drinking whiskey? You get all confrontational. Look at you. You're supposed to be chilling. You're like, hey, you're not talking about Alfred.
Well,
that's bullshit. Only you know that.
You're
drinking a Cabernet. What the hell? You're not drinking 4 Roses.
That's true. I got to keep the
You're ready to brawl with me. Look at you making a fist.
Well, you got to look at if you watch ESPN. Every show, it's 2 guys going at each. That's how you get ratings. We got to battle a little bit. I can't just be like
Smith. What the hell you talk? How do you get behind that microphone and collect a paycheck with that kind of thinking? Where are you coming?
Right. I can't just go. Yeah, I know what you mean, Al. 5 different salmons. Those are delicious. I got to be like.
I don't know what planet you're from.
I didn't know there were 5 different salmons. I'll be honest with you. I don't think anyone knew that but you.
I stand
by my statement.
In the comments below, there might be even more, but Humpy is one of them.
Humpy?
Yeah, the Humpy.
You order a Humpy? You can sit down.
No, but the place is called
Humpy?
Humpy's, but you get the halibut. You get the Alaskan halibut from the one of the Russian oceans out there.
I don't deal with Russia.
Yeah, just go right up to the international date line where the Russian submarines are, and you get some halibut. You come back, and nuclear powered.
I crossed that date line, sir, when I was in the Navy. I've crossed the international date
I've crossed it twice, and I've gotten a certificate each time.
You weren't in, but that's not the same.
No, it isn't. No, because I didn't have a chief petty officer drinking coffee and swallowing mustard covered sardines. When you
how we doing, boys?
And you're throwing up in a bag. So, anyways, we ordered the halibut there, fish and chip style, with the triple Chimay Belgian
one of my favorite beers. One of my favorites.
It's a different buzz.
Chimay, and the triple is freaking incredible. If you haven't had it,
it's very expensive, but you get the 2 together. I was with Bernadette. We were actually doing a land gig, and now they have a Humpy's at the airport in Anchorage. So I had a layover from Seward, And I went in there, I ordered the same thing, and I was hammered. I was fucking hammered, dude. Boston.
What did I just watch? I just watched something. What was I watching? And it's all Irish bullshit, the Boston accents but actors doing. I forget, it was terrible. It was something on Netflix, but it was one of those where you go, there was a bunch of fucking LA actors, with a voice coach or dialect. Now you're in Boston, and they're like, oh, this is a swing and a miss.
Well, they did
bad.
They did. Casey Affleck did it. A Dunkin' Donuts one in SNL. That was one of the funny ones. And Bill Burr did one about a year and a half ago when he did the guest thing. He did one about Sam Adams.
It was the same thing basically.
Yeah, but it was pretty funny. It's so funny. Here's a story about Bill Burr. I don't know if I told you this, but he beat me out on a role for a show called The Townies back in the late 90s.
1890.
And they had voice coaches trying to teach everybody the Boston, New England accents. And they try to teach Bill. He goes, "What the fuck are you talking about? I'm fucking from there." This is when he was full on accent.
Right.
I mean, it was early. He goes, "Get away from me." His agent's like, "What are you doing, dude?" He goes, "They're fucking trying to teach me how to do my fucking accent." Because everybody wasn't there. He was the only one who had it. It was authentic. And they're trying to get him to be more like them. I think it was Ron Livingston. Who's the girl who played Dahmer and Greg, who played the chick in that show? What was her name?
Oh,
she was on there. Molly Ringwald was on it. And...
Yeah, she was tall. Yeah, I could see it. Jenna,
her.
Jenna Elfman.
Yep,
that's my guess.
Yeah, she was like 5'11". I went up. I went for 3 callbacks on that. I thought I was gonna fucking get it. And
damn it, so close.
Billy Burr's like, "Yeah, I fucking got it." I'm like, "Fuck you." By the way, I saw Bill Burr.
Fuck off.
I should share the story.
Yeah.
I was texting Bill Burr back and forth. He was performing at the Chelsea inside the Metropolitan, and Al and I were across the way over there at the Laugh Factory in the Tropicana. So I said, "Dude, he came in for 2 shows, one Friday, one Saturday. We did 14."
That's right. More popular.
Said, "Hey,
the more popular you are, the more shows you do. If you don't know how show business works,
that's how it works."
Mm-hmm.
I mean, granted, he made $500,000, and we made
doesn't matter.
Less. We made a little
they
less.
only wanted him for 2. We did 14.
We did 14. We made a little less money, and we had to split it.
It's not about the money. It's not about the money.
It's about the volume. So I said, "Hey, are we getting together to smoke some cigars?" And he goes, "Yeah, definitely." So we're texting back and forth.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I could say this on air. Well, who's going to get this far? But he said, "This is locker room humor. This isn't real. It's very New England, and it's not really public."
Okay.
He said,
"People will be okay."
He said, "Bring the fag with you."
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking he's talking about Al Romas. I mean,
well, I don't know why you would go there. I don't know why you thought that was me, but okay.
You hear the word fag.
I
think of Al Romas.
Okay.
Because I'm not homophobic. I just think of you.
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, I tell Al, we're going over, we're going to smoke some cigars, but it's going to be late after our show. So it's going to be like a 12:30 a.m. thing. We'll go over for an hour, smoke a stick.
Yeah.
And he actually meant Bernie.
Yeah.
Bernadette, my wife.
Yeah.
But because I said Bernie's
I don't know
as well.
But did you take that as odd that Bill would refer to your wife as a fag?
Well, because her name's Bernie.
Yeah. Okay.
And I said Bernie rather than Bernadette. So
okay. I don't know.
I thought he meant you. Anyways, so I had to disinvite you, and you were not happy about it.
No, I was fine.
You were not. You went from like Eric, our waiter at Hugo's Cellar. You were like, "Hi guys."
Well,
here's your fucking food. Get out.
It was fine.
I'm taking my roses back.
Well, I'm not I'm not really that big a fan, and then I would have had to pretend I was a fan. So now I can at least be honest and be my true self. You know what I mean? Because I was never a fan. I mean, I respect what he does, but I'm not.
I know.
Now you don't have to hang with him.
You're not a fan. You're more of an air conditioner.
It was freeing.
Yeah.
It was freeing.
Free
you know what I
on.
mean? Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So anyways, but we went over there and it wasn't we were surrounded by yes people and security, and it wasn't the usual hang of just chilling. And there was
Right.
the phone was going off, and
Yeah, you got big timed, man.
he's texting and he's
got
taking
big
messages and
That's what
agents, and he's got to get his first edit into, I think, Disney or something for his movie shot without me in it. And he was under a lot
it
of pressure.
happens to every guy who really makes it, and every guy says it's not going to be him, and every guy's like, my friend won't change, and it doesn't matter. He doesn't even want to do it to you, but it just happens. It's part of the thing. And you know who else has a movie coming out? I saw the trailer earlier today. It looks great. Joe List from Mark Norman and Joe List.
Isn't it in Louis C.K.'s?
He wrote a movie with Louis, and Louis
they wrote it
directed
together.
Wrote it together. It's Joe's story.
I didn't know that. I thought he was just cast in it.
You talk about New England accents. It's about Joe, who's from outside of Boston, going home and sort of dealing with his fucked up, drunken New England family. And it's called 4th of July. And he goes there with his wife to basically confront his family and say, what the fuck? You guys, you screwed up here. And it looks pretty good. It looks really, it's like and Louis, you can think whatever you want of Louis, but the Louis show, and he knows what he's doing, man. It's like a little Woody Allen movie.
Well, he is like Woody Allen
comedy,
Jr.,
drama,
but he doesn't.
Music
he doesn't
is great.
molest the kids. He just drops trow in front of chicks after asking permission.
That's right. And what's wrong with that?
I have no problem with that.
What do you do wrong?
Hey, do you mind if I drop?
into it?
Do you mind if I drop? Do you mind if I drop trow? No, go ahead. All right, that's it. Green light.
You ruined my life. I can't ever be a comedian now because I saw Louis' penis. I can never be a comedian.
There's different levels to that. I do know him. I used to know Louis. I haven't, not in the last several years, but I do know his behavior.
But we knew it. I knew him in New York, and that was, you talk about the worst kept secret. I mean, everybody. It was kind of like, hey, did you ever see Louis' junk?
Yep.
No. Oh, he'll show it to you. He didn't give a fuck. It was like, that was so common.
He was doing it on stage. He was talking about it on stage.
And if you look any special, that's all he talks about is going jerking off. I gotta find. Remember his own house? He goes, the only place I go to the basement and be alone and jerk off. Now I have to go back upstairs and deal with the wife and the kids. But
Lucky Louie, they made it in one of the episodes. He went into the closet with the pornographic magazine back in the day.
It's so shocking. Oh my God.
And then people came over and he was in the closet jerking off and he couldn't finish. He was interrupted. It was all there. Art imitating life.
Anyway, the trailer, it's called 4th of July. It looks really good. I mean, it's like this looks like a good movie. This is one of the things I was talking to Kelly about. Maverick, Top Gun is like fucking breaking records. It's massive. And you know what? I was thinking about it, like people our age, you and I, we haven't had a movie to go see in the theater in 10 years, at least. There's no movie we had to go. But this is a movie where it's a sequel to a movie we saw when we were young.
Well, it's nostalgic.
We want to go see it. And we have a reason to go to a movie theater again. I'm not going to go see Captain Marvel. I'm sure it's good. I don't give a fuck.
Tom Cruise said no, only theater release.
That's right. And he was smart because I was reading on Reddit, and two of the producers during the COVID, because this thing was filmed 2.5 years ago. They were like telling him, we got to sell this to Netflix. We need our money. And he's like, no, it's a movie theater movie. It's a movie theater. And they're like, yeah, nobody goes to movie theaters.
His biggest weekend opening in his entire 35-year career, 40-year career.
And you go on Facebook, every guy we know our age has seen it. You know what I mean?
But I am seeing mixed. I'm hearing I loved it or it stunk. So,
well, you won't like it. You won't like it. You'll look at it.
To the danger zone.
You can't. You'll look
Kenny
at
Loggins
it and be like
the way you looked at singer, and it's about hot dogging in the sky and dog fights.
Well, I was saying, really, remember, it was like the gayest movie. I mean, everyone, all the gay guys were like, "This is the gayest movie ever written, made." The volleyball scene and all about "I'm on your ass," you know,
machoism and all that. Yeah,
I mean, it really,
homophobia. Yeah,
yeah. But I might go see it. I mean, I don't know, why not? I want to go to the movie theater. So
I like Tom.
that's the only reason.
I like
want to
Tom
go to
Cruise.
the theater.
I like Tom Cruise.
He's a freak, man. That guy is
I
like,
don't care.
he's flying those jets. He's doing that shit. This guy's a fucking animal, man. You know, when you think about it, he's 60. He's flying, you know, fighter jets.
He hung on a cable outside of that plane on the last Mission Impossible. That was him during takeoff.
It's incredible. I stood in shoes for 8 hours in a hotel room.
You were bitching and moaning like, my back. I got to take a Motrin.
I can't do it. I can't do this.
Motrin? I got to take a Motrin. My lower back has been killing me all night.
Motrin, not Motrin.
I got to take some lava.
Some smelt. Why don't you take a smelt? Have a smelt.
Have a smelt.
Alan Birdie go to a high-class restaurant and eat smelt.
Oh, speaking of which,
you got a couple smelts for the wife and I.
We got to cover here. One is Bavette's Steakhouse and Bar at the MGM Park. It's a 1920s. It's not like cheesy 1920s. It's like authentic high-end materials, booth ceiling, gorgeous. And the steaks were between $55 and $85.
You went there?
We did reconnaissance and we said we got to bring Kelly and fucking Romas here, and we'll pick up Kelly's.
Wait, we got to bring Kelly. We got to bring Kelly and Romas.
What did I text you? I said, "Hey, we're already missing Kelly. You maybe by tomorrow, Tuesday, we'll see."
Well, why not? I get it.
And the other thing we wanted to cover, because we're doing a long podcast, is we wanted to talk about. Hold on, let me pull it up here. John Hinckley.
Ducharme's got notes.
John Hinckley.
Oh, John Hinckley.
John Hinckley has taken to Twitter. John Hinckley, if you don't know, if you're under,
he's taking it by storm.
If you're under 37, John Hinckley tried to assassinate Ronald Reagan.
Obviously, that's not a crime in the United States, I guess.
And
you can just shoot the president.
He had a crush on Jodie Foster, the lesbian actress Jodie Foster. He had a crush on her, and he was killing the president for her. Was that what it was? Yeah,
he wanted her to notice him, because how would Jodie Foster ever hear of John Hinckley? So
she knows.
If I shoot Reagan,
they're dating.
She's gonna have to know who I am, and then she'll want to date me because I'm
her
a
straight.
Great-looking guy, and oh hell yeah, she'll want So yeah, that was the plan, I guess. And this fucker he's just out walking amongst us now, and he's a musician, he's a guitar player, he's an artist.
I think he's a bass player too, right? And drummer.
Well, I saw a video on YouTube of acoustic, him singing with his acoustic guitar, and it's horrible, but it's it's a freak show, and that's America. We're based on that, so
didn't he have like 30 years to practice in prison?
He got his 10,000 hours in cell block B.
But here's the deal. Yeah. He sends out, get this. Now, my sister took me to his house because he lives in Williamsburg, Virginia, where my sister lives.
Barbie knows
Barbie. He was like living in the next neighborhood. She goes, "You want to go by John Hinckley's house? He lives with his mother. He has to wear an ankle bracelet." And she passed away, apparently. His mom passed away. So now he said, not too long ago, this is on June 1st. Mm-hmm. Okay, this is on June 1st, 2022. He says, "Big thank you to everyone."
Wait, June 1st. That was two days ago. This tweet.
This is from the recording, but this recording isn't going to be on until what? The 6th.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
dummy, you just gave it away.
Sorry.
He said, "A big thank you to everyone who helped me get my unconditional release. What a long, strange trip it has been. Now it's time to rock and roll." So, Joe Biden, beware.
Yeah, he's big. He's in love with Ellen now. He wants to change her. So he's gonna shoot Biden. Get Ellen.
Oh my goodness! It's time to rock and roll. Isn't that scary in this day and age with all the mass shootings that are going on? The guy that's already proven
Johnny Hinckley's
that
out
he's not
there.
afraid to
God.
brandish.
It's amazing. He
a
was
revolver.
from money. He was from money. The Hinkleys had big bucks, and that's why he didn't go to prison. He was able to go to a mental facility, and 30 years later, walk the streets. I mean, look at the Manson women. They're in their 80s now. They get turned down every 4 years for parole, which I'm fine with. But
A couple of them got released.
No Manson followers are out. You're talking to like Squeaky Frome or somebody. She was the one she shot Ford, but that was a different thing. I'm talking about the girls the Manson killings.
I thought one of them got out.
No, she died.
Yeah,
but they haven't gotten out.
Am I right or wrong? She's out.
She's out. You're right. I stand corrected.
So, anyways,
yeah.
Let's go back to that. We'll talk about that in the next pod. But it's funny that he goes.
I doubt we will.
Hinckley goes on Twitter. And he has an account, and people are fucking
more followers
in.
than we do.
He goes, and one guy writes, which is hysterical. He goes, "Did you shoot the president or John Lennon? I forget."
Oh, Jesus Christ. Unbelievable.
He goes, now referring to Jodie Foster, the reason why he shot Reagan. He goes, one guy said, "She's hot, but is she kill the president hot?"
Yes. That's funny. That's funny.
One guy wrote, "A heartfelt apology might have been a better way to enter the Twitter sphere." Twitter sphere, whatever you call it.
But isn't it amazing though? Like, I mean, if he was just John Hinckley, father's a garbage man, mother's a stay-home mom, he's in prison. Still in prison. But because he had some bucks, his family, old Johnny gets to go to a mental hospital. And now he's out.
And he's doing a concert in Brooklyn, New York on July 8th. I will have a bass player and drummer backing me up. So maybe he does play the guitar.
Wow.
I think Joe Biden should shoot him.
Joe Biden,
the president of the United States,
should shoot Hinckley.
Which is, we all know that Joe Biden is not the real president. It's still Donald Trump.
It's my president, sir. How dare you? That's my president. Yeah, man.
That January 6th thing, man, a couple of small moves and different situation.
I like how people dismiss that whole January 6th thing. Like, there was a fucking noose built out of wood
to hang
and they
Pelosi.
Brought it there to hang Pence and Pelosi.
Oh, right.
I mean, why are we letting this go? Is like, it was a little bit to make it. So they built a fucking noose, a hangman station to hang the vice president. It's incredible though when people just go, "Oh, come on!" The media really built that up. Really built it up.
Unfortunately, all the people that were calling the Democrats sheeples are actually sheeples because they were following false information, and many of them now have said, "I realize now that it was false information, but at the time, I truly believed it. I was convinced." And that is not an excuse.
No, it's not an excuse, but I get it. If you're a rube or a simpleton, and you're one of these dummies who's pro-America, never served in the military, but I'm fucking American, and your president is telling you, "I won, they stealing it. They're stealing this," and he says you should go there and demand I'm the president. I get it. I get why the rubes fucking bid on it, and now
incitement.
2 years later they're like going to jail now, and they're going, "Fuck." Like I believed him, but that's Trump. That's his. I don't want to get into this shit, but that's his MO anyway. Whether with paying bills or anything else, it's always you suffer, and he gets to just continue on.
Trump's 2016 election, I thought, was a comedy tour because he made me laugh.
Oh, he's just
so much.
I'm not saying he's not funny.
He was hysterical.
I mean, it's going to happen.
He really
again.
is. He's maniacal.
Get ready another year. We're coming.
He really does.
Coming back.
He does know how to do it. He changed the game of the election, and for that, I give him credit because
I do too. I mean, I at least it was. It's a weird thing because I can't
the
stand
system
the guy,
sucks.
obviously, I can't stand him, and no one. I mean, he's terrible. But I love a press conference where he, if someone asks him a long question, he just goes, "I will say, you're a terrible person." And it's like, what the fuck?
It's so stand-up comedy.
Like, what are you doing? Who does that?
If a
I will
heckler,
say,
if
you're a
you get
terrible
heckled
person.
and you put them to sleep, you shut down a heckler. And I just,
Yeah,
I did enjoy that part of it. I'm sorry, I don't know where people
yeah,
stand with me on that, but
yeah.
I'm a centrist.
You are
Yeah, and I was digging some of his
a
foreign policy
centrist.
stuff.
That sounds like from fucking 1800. A centrist.
Well,
What does that mean?
people
What is it?
call you indecisive or a pussy, pick one side or the other. And I'm like,
Oh, I call you a pussy.
was Trump 100% wrong on everything?
Well,
My opinion, no. A majority, did I disagree with? Yes. But was he 100% wrong? No.
right.
I love some of his dealings with China.
China.
There's some other thing. I'm not going to get into it because I'm not really
I
that
don't want to get
political.
into it either. I don't want to get into it either. But I will say I agree with you. And in the last 2 years, there's certainly things that have happened where I went, he was kind of he made a good point about that. Like he had
did.
points.
And the Democrats
were
weren't 100% right. And that's what I'm frustrated
But the whole
with, too.
thing is so screwed up that, I like the fact, not him per se, but I like the fact of an independent non-pol, these guys, I mean, this like Joe Biden. I mean, that guy he was a senator in the 70s. I mean, enough. I mean, really, it's insanity, man. These guys are just in for life. If you can do it, they're going to stay in for life and become multimillionaires. It's ridiculous. So I think Trump had a good point of that whole thing of just, I'm just a guy. I'm a business, not a guy. It's like,
yeah.
Somebody
Do you know
had the
anything
line
about the student debt loan being forgiven at 5.8 billion or something like that? Do you know any of the facts about that? Because I'm confused.
Nope.
Can you imagine making you fucking took 15 years to pay off your student loans, and then the following week they go, "Hey, student loans forgiveness, it's forgiven."
Yeah, well, how about doing the same? Do a 50K on the mortgages or some shit,
Yeah.
Make give if you're gonna do that, which I don't even care, do it. I don't like the fact that I think it's insane that kids get out of school and I mean, really can almost never get even again.
No.
If you went to a really good school on your own, unless you get a fucking hell of a job, you're owing it forever.
Kick-ass scholarships or wealthy parents, because otherwise
parents.
My
wealthy parents,
my lovely wife, Bernadette Pauly, she had student loans and scholarships and whatnot, and she went to school in Switzerland a year abroad, which was kind of
really?
She was a little bit smarter than the average
Switzerland.
Joe.
Wow.
Yeah, she went to Franklin College, which is the university now.
And I did not know that.
And she spent the summer in Italy.
And she's doing guest sets at the Laugh Factory in Vegas. What the fuck happened? Bern?
And she just oh, by the way, she just got booked across the street at the MGM. So there you go, at Brad Garrett's.
Oh, she did?
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. I like that gig better.
That's why she came out.
One show a night.
She came out with us.
She came out?
She went across the bridge. She walked across the bridge, auditioned for the booker there.
Right. Cindy.
The booker emailed her the next day and said, "Hey, do you have this week open?" Boom.
What the fuck? Are you going to go? You should go with her.
I am, because I want to go back to Italy.
Yeah, just be the guide. No work.
Vegas, how great would that be?
Sit in the green room, drink some drinks, and tell her, "Good job, baby."
I got to block it off on my calendar, because
that's awesome.
The booker is going to look at the calendar and go, "It says you're open."
Right. No, I would take that week. I'd block that week.
The whole week.
Oh, it'd be awesome. Sit in the green room and just have your wife out there working.
She does one show, 20, 25 minutes.
Oh, I got a buzz on when she gets off stage.
Holy shit. Maybe make a move or two. Hey, can I open for you? Why don't you open for me?
What? Good evening.
I think we covered everything.
That's quite a reaction after 50 years of marriage there. Good for you.
It's 52 years.
Is it 52 years?
And that's where 52 pick up right there.
I remember that game.
Good luck in prison.
Iceberg, dead ahead.
Don't forget to review us and rate us. It really helps.
The Talking Dicks became friends at a very young age, and the rest is history.
I'm losing my mind.
Patreon.com/The Two Dicks, which is named after our web series. This is the Talking Dicks Comedy Podcast. Thanks for tuning in.
Done.
I didn't kill my wife. I don't care.
We'll fix it in post, you son of a bitch.
Okay, sure.
All right. Subscribe. Mary. This was a horrible mistake.
Go to patreon.com/The Two Dicks.
If you shoot me, you won't see a cent of that money. Why?
I think it ends on that. That's beautiful.